you, get so the first time when you were like, probably not going to come up, that was fine, and then you were like, probably not. That
It's the second.
uncalled for.
Second threat.
Yeah. It's the second time. The second time was the threat. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting here. See, you wouldn't because you're trying to gaslight me, and I appreciate it.
Will doesn't make threats; he makes promises.
You know what? And that is fair.
Q, you sound crazy right now. I would never try to gaslight you.
Yikes! Well, everyone, it has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being here today. I do have to make a very long trip to Maryland.
Well, hey. Here we are. How's everybody doing? What's up? We haven't streamed in a while. I remember how to do this. It's fine. What's this? That's a thing that I have to do. There we go. Hi, hello, welcome. If you've not caught us before, we are Live from the Apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams, podcasts, and things like that in order to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations and other important causes like those. And we're currently still raising money for Doctors Without Borders and the very important, getting more important by the day work that they're doing in Gaza. We normally don't talk about like the realities of the causes that we're raising money for, just because people are here to have a good time and have fun, and we don't want to bring down the mood. But like, it's real bad. It's real fucked up, and it's real bad out there. And I'm not saying that donating to this little game is going to make a huge difference, but if you do need to do something, if you do need to spend some money to try to offer some aid, this is an option. With all that being said, there are lots of other things that you can do. Also, on the topic, you can contact your representatives. I would recommend that first and foremost, and most importantly, just don't stop talking about it on social media or anywhere else that you can, to people in real life too. Just a whole ass helicopter. Right? Yep, there we go. Cool. I don't know if that came through on stream. It's fine. Yeah, it's really bad. But all that being said, we're raising money for Doctors Without Borders. We just ask that instead of doing the normal Twitch things like subscribing or giving us bits or interacting with fake cyber currency really in any way, shape, or form, in any aspect of your life, I would not recommend it. It rarely ends well. You just take the $5 or the $6 or whatever you can spare, and you give it directly to Doctors Without Borders, because, as I mentioned, they will do very good and important things with it. We just play games on the internet. Silly little games like this one. There are things you can do. We've hidden the subscribe button. You can seek it at your own peril. Can't say what you might find there if you go looking for it. But if you are dead set on doing that, if you have an Amazon Prime sub, no, I don't want to do the bit. Don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. Give your money directly to Doctors Without Borders instead. Yeah, I'm just going to skip over that part of the script, which is difficult because this is off the top of my head.
Yeah,
there are
just
channel points.
fucking grip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, that'll happen. That alert will trigger. It'll interrupt whatever's going on. I'll have to reevaluate and get back on track. It's a fun time. You can do that if you want. And there are channel points that you can spend to do various things. Most notably, there are expensive options for good stuff and bad stuff. If you want to influence the game, those are up to interpretation. Those are up to my interpretation specifically. So it's a good time. I would recommend. If you have 20 to 30K odd channel points lying around, it's a good time to use them. Oh, you sure can torture Q. You sure can torture Q.
Hey, Chloe, knock that shit the fuck out right now. I'm not even looking at the chat. I just know who it was.
Is insisting that you could gaslight Q, but I don't know what that means. So, moving right along. Speaking of our silly little game here, this is Nephilim Tenebris. This is a sequel to a gritty near-future sci-fi game that I launched this channel with. I didn't launch this channel by myself, but it was the first game that I ran on this channel 3-ish years ago, which we've been doing this for a long time. This is the sequel. set a little bit in the future of that game, and that game is set about 100 years from today. So when we say gritty near future sci-fi, that is what we are referring to, and it's been a time for the crew of the Tenebris. But I think they'll probably speak to that more than I can, having been the ones experiencing all of this, all these fun things. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and get into our introductions. If you don't mind kicking us off, Alex, who are you? Who are you playing?
Sure. Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Dr. Richard Courtney, also he, him pronouns, a character who dares to ask the bold question, what if Dr. Julian Bashir lacked the two things that made him interesting? Genetic engineering and a secret alien spy boyfriend. And that's me.
I mean, we can work on that second one.
Yeah, absolutely we can.
Eli.
I don't know how to succeed that. Hi, my name is Eli. I am playing Padlock, and we both go by any and all pronouns. That's words. And yeah, that's it. That's who I am.
Extremely fair. Mallory.
Hi, I'm Mallory. I play Luna. We both use they, she pronouns. Luna is the runner playbook, which essentially says, hi, I'd like to be a criminal, but my friends won't let me. Here you go.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, and you should say it. Q.
Hi, I'm Q, he, him, and I'm playing Cassidy Star Runner, also he, him, and, he's just a good time, you know what I mean? The gay neon cowboy. Pew, pew.
Our gay neon cowboy.
Yes.
Zero lies detected. And Rose. I think you're maybe muted. Okay. You're good. Can't hear you. Nope. Still can't hear you. I go next. Though, while you're doing that, we'll circle back to you in just a second. Hello. Hi. My name is Will. I am your storyteller. And I will be playing everybody else. Rose will be back very shortly, I'm sure. Some internet stuff is happening. It's fine. It's all fine, probably. Hello. Hi. Rose?
Say words.
Hi, 1, 2, 3. Howdy.
Yes, words.
Oh,
words
you
are
can hear my
happening.
beautiful voice once again.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Rose. I use they, she pronouns, and I will be playing JoJo Broxson, who uses she, they pronouns. She is the greaser playbook, aka the engineer, and what she lacks in legs, she makes up for in, let's call it spunk.
That is actually, yeah, zero lies detected. Let's bring that chat back. Right there, cool. All right. That is our colorful cast of characters here on the Tenebris, the spaceship that our group currently finds themselves upon. It's their spaceship. It's their home. It's a wonderful place. And I think with all of that in mind, where we are going to begin is in the quarters of one doctor, Dr. Richard Courtney. Don't love that. Yeah, let's do this. I just forget how aggressive that one is. Dr. Richard Courtney. First and foremost, what does your bunk look like?
It's very neat. Like, just about every place that has felt Dickie's touch on the ship and has stayed that way. Don't worry about it. The medical facility and his bunk are both pretty Spartan. Everything is in its place, but that doesn't mean there isn't a lot of stuff in it. In terms, like, the Spartanness is in terms of the furniture, but he has books that he's acquired sort of neatly arranged. They're arranged in color not in author or subject, because he's a bit of a madman in that way. Clothes neatly folded, and the walls are bare. It's not a homey place, but it is home-ish, I guess, for him.
That's extremely fair. And in point of fact, I think we find Dickie probably sort of hunched over his handheld, because per our conversation, you were going to try to reach out to some contacts.
Yes, if Luna, if Tranquility is on the menu, then I think that I need to talk to some people.
And that makes a lot of sense. You were technically between jobs. Contacts as a mechanic in Rust Hulks, the system that we use for this game. At the start of a job, you get to hold one, and at any point, you can spend your holds. There will be someone that you can reach out to have that conversation. In this particular case, I think I just want you to roll with brain.
I can do that. Let's see. Okay. I have a 2 in brain, so that's good. And I rolled a 9, so that's an 11.
It's also good. With an 11, they're friendly and will gladly help for a good price. Depending on the nature of your relationship. What that price might be, who knows? But this is going to be slightly different because you are currently traveling through the empty. You are currently traveling through space between the Buckle, the space station in the Stygian belt that you just left behind, on your way to the nearest ring gate, where you will hopefully be able to refuel your ship, as you are running dangerously low on both fuel and supplies. So what probably would have had to happen would have been you would have sent a communication prior to departing the Buckle. You would only just now be receiving a pre-recorded response through what is called the link. People can still contact you when you're traveling through space. There's just not nearly the same degree of connectivity. So it's almost like the gritty near future equivalent of sending letters to each other, but it's just like pre-recorded messages. But in this particular case, who was it that you were reaching out to?
Dickie does still have contacts at Foundation, and so he was reaching out to an old favorite tutor of his, a fellow surgeon doctor who is very well regarded still in the circles that matter.
That's extremely fair. Did
I
you
don't
have a
remember
name?
if he has a name.
Yeah, I don't think we ever settled on one. I do remember we had spoken about a about a librarian, but this surgeon friend of yours is different, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We can we can use the librarian. She's the one who knows everything. Actually, that makes sense.
She would be the one who would have the most information from inside the Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, in that particular case, I think this would be Evelyn, we'll say. And when you were alerted to receiving a reply, you were probably in the middle of dealing with all the fallout from, pirates trying to invade your ship, take it over, having to escape from the Buckle, shoot them, etc., and escape with your client in tow. So you've had this message waiting for you for a while. You finally get the chance to open it. What was it that you would have asked Lynn about?
I would want to know what the situation on Tranquility currently is. I would want to know if there are any persons of interest that the Foundation is on the lookout for, and I would want to know how Mother is.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So when you open this pre-recorded message, you see Evelyn. She is an older woman, though perhaps not as old as you might expect. She was very young when you were at the Yelchin Foundation, when you were a student there. And she has aged over the last, what did we say, 5 years? Is that what it was? Yeah. But still surprisingly young, given her profession. That was a burn on myself as a former librarian. It's okay, I can say it. She is a very plain-looking woman by design, which is to say that she just does not really bother with makeup or anything. Her hair, which is still a very sort of rich, dark color, it's kind of pulled up into a loose ponytail, but you know that when it's down, it's just kind of this mass of curls. And she has very, very warm, but very sharp, dark eyes, looking back at you through a pair of spectacles. And she is very straight and to the point as she says, she looks directly into the camera and she says, Richard, I was pleased to receive your message. It's been a very long time, and I was beginning to worry that you may have fallen into some misfortune out there, traveling the empty as you insist on doing. I suppose I'll begin with your first question. Tranquility endures, as it always does. You, of all people, should know that if there are problems, the people of Tranquility would be the last ones to hear about it. You wouldn't want anyone to panic. To the best of my understanding, things are fine here. As fine as they ever are. The Foundation is somewhat of a different story. There is something in progress, an event, I believe, that the headmaster is putting together, welcoming influential former students, people of note, a celebration of the Foundation and all it has accomplished since its inception, so I'm told. And I'm afraid I don't know much more beyond that. She does hesitate. She does pause. And then she says, well, if I can be of any further use, don't hesitate to reach out to me again, and I'll respond as soon as I'm able. Stay well. And the message cuts off.
I think Dickie lets the fact that a third question was never answered sit somewhat uneasily with him. And then I think he's going, well, he has medical rounds to do, and as you and I both know, there are a lot of people dinged up, and there's something weird that we need to talk about. So I think I may be trying to get people together because we need to have a little team meeting, I think.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's more than fair. I think you have had some opportunity at this point to treat the more injured members of your crew, which, oh, look at that. That is everybody but, yep, Padlock. Interesting. including yourself. So what I think we will do on that matter is that if there are things you want to discuss with anybody individually, we can have that. We can have those scenes play out as part of the infirmary roles.
I think the only people I really would like to talk to, not regarding stuff, is probably JoJo.
JoJo. Okay, cool. So then what I would like you to do is roll with the size of your infirmary.
How big is my infirmary?
It is size 2.
Size 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. That's an 8 for a 10.
Okay. Then I'm going to say that everybody that you have treated, which would be everybody on the crew, except for Padlock, who does not need it, heals 2 harm.
Hey. Almost harmless.
I was going to say, for most of you, that makes you perfectly fine. For most of you. And you also treat yourself in that process. Treat yourself. But you can also have a conversation with JoJo while you are doing that medical care, if you'd like to.
I'm curious what JoJo is like in the infirmary, because this is very different from their usual haunt. Like, this is clean and immaculate. I think he's even got a little mister that, like, whenever JoJo tries to light up a cigarette, there's a little, like, psh, and it puts it out, and he taps at the sign.
Yeah, at this point, I think I'm just trying to see how long it takes before this fucking thing breaks. So, it still works. All right.
Please don't try and damage the equipment. I really don't want to have to call Padlock in to fix it. Because he will yell at me about breaking things, and I won't even be the one who has broken things.
I don't know about that. Usually when Pad says something's broken, it's usually pretty broken. But
yes, but I don't want to be blamed for it being broken.
Shouldn't have broken it then. Joe in this environment is definitely uncomfortable, and when Joe is in an uncomfortable environment, she is like stabby, if that makes sense. Like it's a cornered cat that is not looking to play nice. If as much as a human can kind of look like a cat kind of upset, that's kind of how I think she is. Just twiddling the cigarette in her hand now that she can't smoke it.
We could get you patches or gum if you wanted.
Where's the fun in that? No.
Are you telling me you wouldn't
believe in patches?
You wouldn't want to snap gum at me?
Okay, now I'm listening, but I can do both. So
okay. Yeah, all right. It looks like the bullet wound is healing okay. Is that giving you any trouble?
No more than anything else does.
All right. As your physician, I do have to remind you that getting shot is bad for you. And if you...
I missed that part in biology. That was always your class. Yeah.
Okay, well, just as a reminder, and then remember, every time you get shot, you have to come here, and I have to...
Every time? There's not like a punch card I can put in, like,
no,
I get shot 4 times, the 5th one's free?
No, this isn't a sandwich shop, this is an infirmary.
Well, maybe that's why Padlock's always so confused. I keep telling him that the best subs are right here in your office, so I guess that's crazy.
There's just a blank look as that doesn't register. Goes way over Dickie's head.
Am I good, Doc? Like,
I mean, Joe, it's been 5 years. I don't know if you remembered that it was...
what day
been
is
5
it?
years.
Already, huh?
Yeah. And I just wanted to... I always have to twist your arm about that yearly checkup. So, is everything still functional?
I mean, functional is a subjective analysis. I can perform my jobs adequately.
I'm not asking about how well you perform your jobs. I'm asking about how you are.
I think that direct enough of a "how are you, Joe" is too much of a like thing for her to weasel out of. So she just kind of like looks at Dick, thinks about it for a second, and tries to light the cigarette again. I'm. She hunches over a little bit. I've been better, Dickie. You're a good doctor, and you are always patching me up, and I'm real grateful for that, even when I don't want you to.
Well, it's my job. But more to the point, I want to make sure that my friends are okay, and you are one of those.
Oh, fuck you, Dickie.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I'm trained as a medical doctor, but I do also have mental health training. So if you want to make an appointment to sit down on my couch, we can make that happen.
Well, shit. All services, huh?
Listen, we can even do it somewhere where the spray thing doesn't exist, if you wanted.
You're gonna make me regret this, Dickie, but I'm gonna lift my ban on the engineering room for you. We can talk there.
I think his face lights up, and then he realizes he'd have to go to engineering, and it falls. It's like,
I'll
right.
clean up. I'll clean up. I'll move some things.
Great. I'll swing by soon.
Great. I think then she just gets herself off the table, puts herself on the wheelchair. When Joe goes, it's usually stilts, but when she needs to go vertically, it's like she takes out her wrench, hits a nut, and then like is now in a sitting position. Cool. Yeah. As she wheels herself out, she goes, "You checked on Padlock yet?"
Padlock is in perfect health, as far as I can tell.
I figured. She wheels herself out without any other explanation.
I think the last thing is that Dickie then remembers HIPAA exists and is like, shit. Can't be giving out people's personal medical information. Damn it, Dickie!
Out here in space, we call that SHIPA.
SHIPA? I hate that.
I don't.
No, you don't.
I don't. I love it with all my heart.
So there's that interaction that could happen at any point. I guess the question for me would be, what I've heard so far is that Dickie also wants to gather the rest of the crew together to discuss some stuff. Would you like to talk to JoJo before that or after that? After. Cool. Then my only follow-up question would be, are you inviting your client, Nevin Westcott, a.k.a. Boris, to this meeting?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Then I think the rest of you would probably hear a call for the crew to gather over the intercom. And we'll say that that's probably like the day after JoJo's checkup, probably because you still have the rest of the crew to heal before you can really focus on anything else, including yourself.
Yes.
Which means bringing on back around to all of you gathering together, presumably in what passes for the Tenebris' galley, which is to say, it's probably not much.
I think Cassidy's looking a little rough. Not physically, but definitely was like, oh, hey, look, all of me hurts. You know what fixes that? Alcohol. So, so he may be a little hungover at the moment. Just a little.
Which I guess would beg the question, who's your drinking buddy?
Me.
So is Luna also hungover?
I think I'm just before the point of hungover. Like, you still feel just really awful, but I knew that Captain was going to be hungover, and if like someone has to be alert enough just in case, and so I am the point right before you reach hungover where you still feel really shitty, but there is no good end in sight.
Right. It's just all bad.
It's all bad, but you're alert enough to do anything you need to do. So it's
okay. So do we have enough for a shitty space coffee, like a space coffee maker?
I think so. It's probably instant, but yeah.
Sure, whatever. That's
yeah.
So so Cassidy is completely silent until the little cup is in his hands, and there's just a.
Okay, well, I think I can take that as our cue to get started. He's there in his lab coat with his little. He's got a little clipboard. It's like, I just wanted to go over a med alert that I got while we were on the Buckle. So it seems like there is a new virus or something. It's not really clear what it is, but it's out in Jupiter. So, we haven't been to Jupiter for a while. So I don't think that's anything we need to worry about immediately, but it is pretty bad from what I've read. Facial paralysis, stops you from breathing. There's some sort of thing that hurts there's smiling involved. It's called the mask, is what they're calling it. I think it's probably a little overblown, but just to be sure, there is an experimental vaccine that I'm going to try and get for us as soon as we can, run some tests on it, and then once I'm sure it's good, we'll be vaccinated, and then you won't have to worry about the mask anymore. But this is a good time to go over our standard anti-infection protocols. So, use protection, be sure what you're drinking, make sure that you trust the people, don't get coughed or sneezed on, all of that stuff. Wear masks.
How bad is it?
Well,
from what I see, the fatality rate is pretty high.
Nevin would actually speak up at this point and would say it's not overblown.
Oh,
the first reports were some time ago, and we had a sample at the foundation when I was there that people were trying to synthesize a vaccine or a cure.
Were you successful?
He just shakes his head.
All right.
How long ago?
We received the sample that we had maybe 10 months ago. Not quite a year.
And of course, the Foundation is going to get it before anyone else has heard about it. So
you said that there was a vaccine, though.
It's experimental, apparently, and it didn't say who was producing it, which is suspect. But if I can get my hands on it, I'll run some tests. See if it's viable.
My understanding is that it's the theory was that it had something to do with long-term exposure to liquid hydrogen gases from mining the oceans.
Which is good that none of us are liquid hydrogen miners. That it does seem rather communicable. So, be on the lookout for people who smile too much. And then Dickie gives a big smile and then stops himself. It gets very serious.
Anything else, Doc?
Nope, that's everything on my clipboard.
Cassidy is immediately up and out of the room.
Oh.
Walking way too fast for someone who is absolutely hungover.
Okay, well, thank you for attending and paying attention. If you need me, I will be in the infirmary.
Joe's just sitting there with Pad and Luna and the client, just kind of awkwardly, like, okay. Good team. Good meeting, I guess. Rolls away if there's nothing else.
So, I think it should be noted, especially because we have been together for 5 years. And Cassidy is originally from Jupiter.
Wasn't sure who else
I wasn't
knew
sure
that.
if you told us.
Mm-hmm.
I
remember.
Okay, so he came from Jupiter, and he was absolutely not from Tranquility, and there was a very contentious point. So I think you all would have known.
That's up to you. You were an established student by the time the rest of these miscreants came in as like
fair.
Foundation
That
members.
is fair.
But
that is
I know
fair.
that I knew because it was one of the reasons that Cass and Luna bonded so well was because of the backgrounds we came from, which is why I started to give you the test answers for free instead of making you pay me. So I know that I know at the very least. I don't know who else you would have told, but
there was some
That's fair.
bonding that we had being like Vents and also Jupiter, but I wasn't sure if that was like I saw a cool kid and I was following you, or if that was we talked about like growing up in bad circumstances and being in Tranquility. So I'm happy to say either.
I think just to sort of keep it, because that I'm sure Dickie would not have gone, hey, good thing we're not all minors. I don't think that Dickie knew. I think at the very least Luna knew, and JoJo, you probably knew he was from out that way, but maybe not specifically a mining family.
Yeah, I think at the very least, when they all leave, there would be a moment where it's like, he's from Jupiter. Like, you got to check on him, Loon.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed. Once Dickie's like made his exit, I'm going to Cass.
So then I think what I will say, where we'll jump to, is Cassidy, you are walking very quickly towards your bunk, towards the bridge, towards.
I know we're in transit, but I think he immediately is like, okay, I have to check the internet.
Yeah. So out here in active space travel, there is something called the Link, which is a very, very stripped down version of it's the same concept as the internet. It's just is very limited in what you can do with it and how much data can be transferred via it. So generally speaking, what it mostly is like star charts, navigation tools. I think the bounty board is usually probably accessible to a degree, like a list of most wanted. And you can send messages. You just can't have conversations in real time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for obituaries. I'm trying to see if they have a list of names.
Okay. And I think, Luna, that is probably where you would find the captain.
I think I don't say anything at first. I just walk and I watch the screen because I know what you're doing and I've done it before. So I know the feeling of having to type out each name and look for it.
Yep.
And so I'm watching and I'm waiting and I've got another flask in my hand, knowing that you're already hungover, but also knowing like I'm alert enough that I've got this if you.
Yeah. Hair of the dog. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And I think you do have access to that information, but I think you also know that it's basically a copy from the last ping.
Yeah.
So you would have the obituaries that had been reported also as of the buckle. But anything since then, you're going to have to wait until you can connect again to the net.
That's fair. I mean, he said 10 months is when he got the sample, which means it's been around for a little while. So I didn't know to look for it. So now I'm looking. So
that's fine. I will say that you don't seem to find any members of your family.
Okay. No one.
Good. No one is good. No news is good news.
But it's the question, right? It's the what if question.
Yeah.
Can you call them?
Yeah, I can check in. I can do what I can, you know.
I'm not ready to do that still. Even though I'm freaking the fuck out that they might be dead. So
Get it. I don't talk to mine yet either, but I know how to check on everyone's just in case, you know.
Yeah. Do you want to trade? I'll talk to yours. You talk to mine.
Yeah, you talk to mine. I'll talk to yours.
Sweet. He's going to take the flask 1,000%.
Absolutely. I've already had it was already halfway out to you being like, I know you need it already. Don't worry. Okay. That's like a fresh flask too. That's one that I had hidden away for a day like this when I knew the bad news would come someday.
Yeah. Okay. It's a lot of names.
A lot of names.
To go through.
Yeah. I have considerably less names to go through, thank goodness. And even though they're not out that way, just in case, no matter how far it's traveled or anything, I'll type in the 3 names that I need to check.
You don't find any of yours either.
Good. Nope. We're all good. Mom and Dad are fine.
Good. Okay. I made a scene.
You didn't make a scene. You walked out very calmly. Honestly, you've made like real scenes in our friendship. That wasn't a scene. That was maybe the calmest you've ever been when you've left a meeting you didn't want to be in with Dickie.
You know what? That's fair. That is very fair.
It was really great restraint on your part. And I couldn't tell if it was a lack of energy from the hangover or just like such a focus on needing to get out of the room. But either way, it worked really, really well for you. So
it was a focus. Yeah, well, it was a focus, but also the lack of shouting was due to I could hear my own heartbeat ringing in my ears. I did not need to add more sound to that, you know?
Yeah, no, that's super fair. And everybody was very nice and quiet and respectful. And Dickie didn't even like sing a song this time or anything, which was really nice. We just stuck to it, which was great. Like short, sweet, simple, to the point. Really growth all around, if you're asking me, because I don't need another one of like Dickie's top hits on health violations or whatever we want to call those when we sing sometimes.
I mean, those can be enjoyable.
It can be, but not when you're hungover. That was for your sake. I'm
No,
still just
true,
drunk,
true.
not hungover. I would have really enjoyed it, honestly. I would have like choreographed it in my head or something, but this was my hope for you as your friend.
Can't get hungover if you stay drunk.
Exactly. And that's why in this coffee right now is more alcohol, because then you're always ready.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm going to. I'll be at the helm. I'm just gonna stare at the universe for a minute.
Gotcha.
And I just want to ask Padlock, where would you go after the impromptu health seminar?
Padlock's a mess right now. Padlock is very, I guess, on the cusp of being just manic. Their brain is just a buzz. So they probably like snuck off either to their bunk area or wherever they're constantly like building stuff, maybe the cannon, and just like going through some things. But yeah, they're also just all over the place. So they're just like constantly distracted, looking around all the time. So they might be just under the hood of something, trying to connect two wires with fingers and toes, maybe. Just
you short circuit yourself.
Yeah, just making it work.
I do kind of love the idea of Padlock, like the gunner's chair being like a safe space, kind of.
Yeah,
just hanging out
like
in the
underneath,
chair,
underneath the gunner's chair. There's not even like sitting in the gunner's chair; it's underneath the chair.
100%. Yeah. Which normally, I mean, I think also you sort of have that view out of space if you want it, but that I think is more of a it's not necessarily an actual physical viewport. It's more like cameras on the outside of the ship. So if you want those off, you can have those off, and it's just a very small, confined space at that point.
Yeah, they're definitely off.
And I think that after a few minutes, maybe of that, of being alone, trying to connect those wires, use yourself as a human conduit, you'd sort of hear an unsure voice say, hello?
I think Padlock will immediately like crack their head on the top of the console just by not expecting a voice. Just splog crack. And they're just like,
I'm sorry.
Hello?
I'm so sorry. You look up and you'd see Nevin Westcott, aka Horace, kind of standing there, head ducked down, like looking into the gunner's area, the gunner's chair. Sees you and says, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. I thought you came this way, but then it looked empty. I'm so sorry."
Oh, no, it's fine. I can kind of just like, squeeze into places. Horace?
Horace is fine. The pretense hardly seems necessary at this point. But
okay, that's fine. I'm just really bad at names.
Nevin.
Yes.
My name is Nevin. You're Padlock.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Not a nickname, just a name.
Thank you.
Can I help you?
I was curious. Weapons were not my area of expertise at the Foundation, but I've never seen anything like what you fired at that other ship before we left the Stygian Belt. Did you build that?
Long answer, yes. Short answer, yes. Yeah, I guess that was kind of what I was brought to the Foundation for. They liked that I could make things. And this is what they wanted me to make. And yeah.
Is that also where you received your training, combat training? Or is that from before? If you don't mind me asking, I'm sorry. It's just that, well, everybody else, you're unharmed, and there were 3 pirates trying to take your ship.
I mean, I was definitely not passing grades in PE. If you were asking me that from the foundation, yeah, I kind of pick some things on it. It all gets a little blurry sometimes when you start thinking about things, when you start like reminiscing about things. But I don't think I think Joe was the one that handled the pirates. Honestly, yeah, I'm not much of a fighter.
Joe was shot and impaled. I tended to her wounds to the best of my ability. I'm also not a doctor by any means, but had some training.
I'm a doctor, but a different kind of doctor. So I can't really weigh on that either.
What sort of a doctor?
A doctor of tinkering, I guess. I mean, machines are like are like people when you really think about it. They're just different kinds of anatomy. And you just got to have the bedside manner to like figure out how the best to like use them or like fix them.
Well, to borrow that metaphor, I suppose, Jojo was decidedly beyond repair for a few moments. I don't think she could have done much of anything to anyone.
Oh, well, I don't think I did anything. I think I might have pushed him.
Of course. Sure. Absolutely. It's not my. I'm sure you're right. Either way, so incredibly fortunate that things played out the way that they did.
Yeah, we can get really lucky sometimes. I know it seems like we're a little like all over the place, but there's like method in this madness, I guess. And we always seem to it kind of works out at the end, you know?
I was promised that you would be more than capable of handling this job. So it does bring me comfort to have seen that incredible luck in action.
Yeah. You're from the Foundation, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Were you building stuff?
I was. I'm afraid I lacked the clarity that you and your crew members found during your time there. Believed that the research that I was doing, the work that I was doing, would make the universe a better place. And upon my graduation, I was disavowed of that notion.
Well, it's more important that you figured it out at the end of the day, right? I mean, I think we were kind of pushed off a ledge when we had to figure that out. And I mean, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily just like invitation into the Foundation anyways. So I get it. You know, sometimes like education institutions just, you know, promise you like a lot and then you just find out what they're really trying to get you to do, you know?
I do. I very much do. In some ways, I wish that it had been more transparent, like it was in your case. It sounds like if they had threatened me or held me against my will or punished me in some brutal, inhuman way, then at least I would have known to downplay my abilities, hide them.
Yeah.
Instead of giving them the kind of weapon that I did.
No, no. I mean, I still got stuff probably cooped up from the foundation that I've made. I made a couple of things. So, you know, we're both in the same boat, I guess. So maybe just don't be too hard on yourself.
Thank you, Padlock. Scientists, we can't be believers in serendipity or fate or destiny or anything like that, obviously. But it's incredibly fortunate that I would find myself among the five of you. I guess more of that luck you spoke about.
Yeah. Take the luck where you get it. Yeah. Don't worry about those sciencey things, because science never gets you anywhere either.
That is a lesson that I will try to take to heart. I didn't mean to intrude. I was just curious about the canon. So thank you for talking to me.
You're fine. It was just I just need some like quiet time, and I got these like 3 wires that I need to try to reconnect some way. So I'm just trying to figure out how to put them back together. So you weren't really bugging me, just unexpected. I forget that you're here, honestly. And then you just like pop up every now and again, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's right. We have like another person here. So I'll eventually be less like spooked at some point. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it, baby. Slop that down.
Padlock's gonna
dude.
slowly just like
Dude,
where they're
crack
peeking
one for the
up, just
big
slowly
boy.
just sink back down.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your donation.
Tinkering.
Thank you for the donation, first of all.
Oh, that's right.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much for the donation to Dr. Without Borders. And yeah, I think seeing you sink back under the chair, Horace is just gonna leave, just gonna take the opportunity to leave. When you peek back over the chair, he's not standing there any longer.
Yeah, Pat takes like a deep breath before starting to like reach out again for all of those wires.
I think the camera like pans away, and all we hear is just like a zap, and then like a quick like yell of pain, and that's it.
Lights flicker, and we all look up.
Personal conversations aside, you all were making your way to the closest ring gate in the rail network to refuel there and resupply, since you ended up having to leave the buckle in somewhat of a hurry. So with that in mind, we're going to fly a span, which is a move in this game. Anytime you travel between planets, which in this case, the rail gates serve our purpose. The ring gates serve our purpose just fine for that. This is a roll that the captain makes. It's you, Q. Now, an interesting thing about flying the span is that it takes 2 things it takes fuel, and it takes supplies. And those are represented in a gauge on your ship sheet. To fly one span, which will be the distance between the buckle and the ring gate, it requires fuel equivalent to the largest size of any of your rooms. And it requires always one supplies to feed your entire crew per span. So you need to spend one supplies, and because the largest room that you have on your ship is size 2, you need to spend 2 fuel.
Cool.
Because you only have 2 fuel and 1 supplies, that means that you can't bolster this roll. Normally, you can spend an additional span's worth of fuel for when you roll, and that'll let you add 1 to the roll. You can do that up to a maximum of +3, which would cost you, 6 fuel and 3 supplies. But given your current situation, that just means you're going to be rolling 2d6.
Okay. Tis an 8.
Tis an 8. Okay. You get to pick 2, and they can repeat. You encounter an uncertain ship or an occupied hulk. Every crew member chooses 1 chain to Titan. You encounter a spaceborne hazard or danger.
Interesting. Okay. So those all sounded bad.
I mean, it is an 8. It's a mixed success. You're going to get there. And if you think those are bad, you should read the ones that you have to pick from on a miss.
Hoi.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. So and just so I just rolled flat, right?
Yep.
Damn. So, okay. RIP. Yeah. So, what was the first one?
You encounter an uncertain ship or an occupied hulk. Hulks are derelict spacecraft, basically just like debris left floating here. You can scrap them for valuable things. But in this case, it would not be entirely derelict. Or you can find a regular spaceship that you're just not entirely sure about.
And I have to pick 2?
You have to pick 2, but you can repeat them. So one option would be for every crew member to Titan 2 chains.
Rip Dr. Courtney.
Isn't that bad right now?
I mean,
most of us have space.
That would be bad right now, I think.
Most of you have. That would take a lot of people to choking. Not necessarily past choking, but certainly to choking.
Okay.
It does look like everybody has at least 2 slack chains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, so, and that would just get you to taut. That wouldn't get you to choking.
We'll put it to taut. Everybody pick 2 chains, and then we'll find we'll go with the first option.
Okay. All right. So you're just doing the chains.
Yeah.
Okay. You're doing so it's every crew member chooses 1 chain to Titan. You can pick that twice. And that'll fix all of your problems. You won't have to pick anything else.
We ball.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, then everybody pick 2 of your chains to Titan to tout.
I picked Dr. Dick and Luna.
Cool. So generally speaking, I think that just means that this is a very stressful journey, specifically because you are running so low on both fuel and supplies. So both Jojo and Padlock, I think, are feeling a lot of pressure to squeeze as much distance as you possibly can out of the meager amount of fuel that you had left on this ship. The rest of you are probably likewise really starting to feel the lack of supplies, in the sense that you are scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as your food stores are concerned. especially if you are trying to prioritize your paying client.
If Horace takes the last of my fucking cigarettes, I'm blowing up this ship. I just need all of you to know that.
Yeah, I think Padlock is running around like a madman.
Just
trying to just like either slamming stuff, moving stuff around, bumping into people. I'm just adding to the stress with my own stress.
Patty, calm the fuck down.
I don't know if I can do that right now, Captain. Did you not see the fuel range right now? If I don't divert something somewhere.
Okay. Listen.
Do we need the refrigerator right now?
Yes, we need the refrigerator. We don't have that much left.
I was going to say, you don't need the refrigerator if there's no food left.
You just hear over the intercom, Pad, cut the fridge. We need more power.
I'm walking away from the captain. It might be the coffee maker too. And I just sprint to the galley.
There's as Pat is running away, there's just a revolver.
One of these days.
Mm.
One of these days. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So it's a frustrating journey, to say the least. There's a lot of strain on your relationships with one another, but after a couple of days out here, Cassidy, I think you would be the first one to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right as you sort of round the circumference of a particularly large asteroid that's like drifted away from the Styx, you see it a little ways off in the distance. A massive mechanical ring floating there in space. And you can see the outlines of other ships that are currently docked on the ring gate. I think you would know that while this is not the farthest out ring gate, it is one of the farthest in the chain for sure. It's in the later half of the chain for sure. So I think you would know that this is and maybe there's a demarcation that pops up on your nav controls that denotes this as gate 315C.
All right. We are here. Sound off. Who's alive?
Joe here, unhappy, but glad we'll get some fuel. Thank fuck.
You'll hear Padlock just like being electrocuted for a second.
Attaboy, Padlock.
Here.
Dr. Richard Courtney, present and accounted.
Luna can't come to the phone right now because she's dead, but if you want to leave a message for her ghost, she's right here.
Cool. We're getting a drink and food.
Sweet.
Good food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to the pizza pit?
Good
We
question.
gotta be going to the pizza pit.
It could be the pizza
Okay.
pit.
All right. So hear me out. Food bar crawl.
Yes.
Start
Yes.
at the pit,
Mhm.
and then we go to Taco Tower.
Yes, I was just about to ask if we could go get Taco Tower nachos. Yeah.
And this is why you're the captain, boss.
Taco Tower's really hard to eat when you have the fake vampire fangs in your mouth.
You take them out.
Yeah, you just
get messy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never been messy in my life.
Then you take them out. That's your other option.
We gotta
Seems
get you
like a
out
betrayal
more.
of the pizza pit.
It's not a betrayal. You will love them forever.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You can just put them in your pocket. You
Immortally
can put them
so.
back on after the nachos. It's really not the worst deal.
Really appreciate this group for illustrating the siren song of capitalism that plagues this hell future.
I mean, come on.
Thought we could
Y'all
help.
get it.
Yeah,
Y'all get
we
it.
know the assignment.
Yeah.
we have been in space for what 3-5 days, smelling each other and waiting for fucking food. We're excited for pizza, tacos, and booze.
Yeah,
Smelling each other was the most accurate thing you could say about space travel.
absolutely.
We
You know
named the
those
ship.
filtration systems are struggling.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you know the
Screaming.
AC got cut day 2.
Absolutely it did.
Got me sitting in the
Absolutely.
captain seat, just sweating, just
Passing warm booze back and forth, and we're just like,
Oh.
that's what we gotta deal with right now.
You had to take your matching jackets off. It was too hot.
we sure did.
Yeah,
Sure
we
did.
sure did.
hmm
And yeah, I think you all feel that collective sense of relief, and you feel like you can finally joke again, and laugh with each other as your ship at this point more drifts towards the gate than it does fly. And I think that is a great place to take a little break, take a little 10-minute break, and then come back to see what happens on the ring gate. So don't go away. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. See you real soon. Get some Taco Tower
Or
while
pizza.
or Pizza Pit.
Or Pizza
while you're
Pit.
out there.
Pizza Pit.
Pizza Pit.
Will never lies.
That was the first thing the audience heard, and it's so correct.
Will never lies.
Will
You can
never
trust
You heard it
lies.
here
You can
first.
take that to the bank,
And they'll say, "Who's Will?" and get out.
the space bank.
You can put this in your
The
savings account.
space.
Nice. I would
Space-
exchange that for space currency, please.
The spank.
I heard
Well. Well.
Respect. How dare you?
Hoopa spank.
Oh no!
Cease and desist.
Oh, she gone.
Okay, now we're done. All right, so we're going to get back into it. When we took our break, the crew of the Tenebris had just caught sight of the ring gate, 315C, if I'm not mistaken. Should probably write that down, but future Will's problem. And before you disembark, as you are kind of drifting into proximity to dock, so you can do all the things you need to do, I think we are going to take one quick peek into our engine room, as there was a conversation that had yet to be finished.
I think Joe would at some point send like a relay to say like, I'm free now. And they're in the engine room that's constantly like gears going and cold steam like going. There's like a little spot where there's just like a chair, an empty spot, and there's relatively soot-free ring near the entrance. Whenever she hear Dickie come in, she just like, give me 1 second, throws some gears in, pulls some levers, throws it into auto, and then shifts back into sitting position and rolls to the empty spot.
I think when Dickie got the communication, he took off his lab coat and put on his sweater vest because it's time to do mind doctoring. And you want to make people feel comfortable, and many people don't feel comfortable with a white lab coat. He also found a stray piece of paper and wrote "off limits mind therapy session," and he's like walks to the engine room and tapes that up next to the door so that no one else will come in. And then he will very gingerly make his way to sit down on the chair that Joe has provided for him.
I liked you better in the lab coat.
Oh, Dickie makes a note of that. Joe prefers lab coat. I'm just here to make you feel comfortable. And then he fumbles into his pocket and pulls out a pack of cigarettes and offers one.
Okay. Well, and Joe pauses for a second, accepting the cigarette, looking at the sweater vest, and is like, "This isn't a date, right? Not my time. Like this.
No,
good,
this is therapy.
Okay, but you gave me cigarettes, and you're not wearing your lab coat, and that's sketchy.
I'm trying to create a relaxed atmosphere for you.
Yeah, like a date. Whatever.
No. And then Dickie will also put a cigarette in his mouth, light it, inhale, cough, and throw it away.
That Joe laughs at.
That is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Then special.
Okay. So, we're here to discuss your mental well-being.
Yeah. Because you got you know all about the mind and inside stuff.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anybody, or do you know? Have you ever heard of somebody who acts one way and then suddenly shifts, and it's like they're a completely different person?
Can I make a brains roll to see if I know anything, or if that triggers something in me?
I think, yeah. My guess is that if you... let's see here. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to call this a use of unflinching eye. When someone is under your care, you can analyze something with your patient as the thing in question. So you're going to roll to analyze something which is with brain, if I am not mistaken.
Okay. That is a 7.
All right. With a 7, you get to ask one question. Sorry, no, you hold 2.
Okay. Do I know what do I know what the questions are? Or should I go to
what's something unusual or abnormal? What's a hidden feature? How much is it worth to the right person? Who touched or operated it most recently? Where did it come from? Who made it originally?
Okay. Can I stretch the where did it come from or who made it originally to see if this is about Joe or about someone else?
Yeah, I think so. And I think in particular, I'm going to say that you catch on probably very quickly that Joe is asking questions about Padlock, given that it was only the two of them who were present during that very strange and mysterious altercation that took place in the airlock. And Padlock was completely unharmed while Joe was on the verge of death.
Well, I suppose I would need to know more about what the person was like before and after.
Before, they're your best friend. After, they don't know who you are.
Is this something that has happened multiple times?
She just nods, doesn't verbalize yes.
What did Padlock do in that airlock?
We stopped the pirates from coming aboard. Well, initially. We fried some of the systems to get their hacker to stop. But they went the old-fashioned way. Buzzsaw through. when they were coming to take us aboard, they told us right away they weren't going to take any prisoners. And when I tried to stand in their way, they shot me. That's where the bullet came from. And they stop and they double back. As soon as Pad saw me get shot, that's what happened. But that's also how I got my stab wound. They stabbed me too. I don't know what stopped them from killing me like the others.
I'm going to interject there just for a second, because I think in that moment, Jojo, you flash back to that image of Padlock standing over you, just completely like dead-eyed, with the screwdriver held like a knife in his hand, standing over you, before she just like collapsed. Her eyes rolled back in her head, and they collapsed limply to like the deck, completely unconscious. And when they woke up, it was like but that image flashes back into your head in that moment.
Yeah, she describes that moment, and when she specifically thinks about the moment where his eyes switched, she kind of says, I've seen that look in her eye before. And I don't know what it is with them. But I know what the various superpowers do with things that are powerful, and what they do with things that aren't what they think are normal. And I will do anything to keep them safe.
I can't say that I'm not concerned about Padlock's lack of injuries. It's troubling. But if he attacked you as well, then I may need to talk to her. I won't use your name.
No. Let me come with.
I also want to interject here real quick to ask if, Rose, you are omitting on purpose. Everything else could be chalked up to a few different quote-unquote normal afflictions. But the fact that Padlock had been burned on the side of their face by sparks from a control panel that you watched heal immediately as he stood back up, you can't really write that off. Or maybe you can. That's up to Jojo.
No, I don't. That one was Rose, the player, forgetting that very important detail.
That's what I'm here for.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I think she includes and says, whatever it is, I don't know exactly what triggers it, but if you see the switch flip, run. That's the only thing you can do.
Your concern for my safety is appreciated. Tell you what, let me do some research once we're done here. Get some food in us, and then we can talk to Pad.
Yeah. You may want to bring in Luna, and if you're bringing in Luna, you may want to even bring in Cass, because Something. I'm worried.
I suddenly am too. But I certainly don't want Padlock to feel stressed or threatened.
I want to bring in Horace too, because he's basically part of the crew at this point.
I'm going to kill Horace. I'm going to kill Horace.
No one asked for Horace's opinion.
No one asked
Thank
for
you.
Horace. Horace isn't coming drinking, right? Like, he's just going to be in a bad mood the entire time.
I think with
actually probably, especially because I need him. Hey, listen. Did you see him? Because
did you see his wallet?
Also that.
Now, who do you think is paying for these drinks and this fuel?
It's
And
true,
also, do you want to leave him alone on the ship?
No.
Okay, you're all making really excellent points that I hate. Thank you.
The Horace character art has not been shared publicly, but I'll post it after the stream. There's a link to the Discord if you want to join it.
Yeah, he's fine as hell. So
Mhm.
It's not our fault.
We had this whole talk last episode about how Cassidy's going to try to play wingman because Luna's not had a single relationship since you all met. Luna.
It's true. So that's my focus, and then I'm just keeping Horace in the pocket. You know what I mean?
Horace in the pocket.
Everybody needs a little Horace in the pocket, right?
Everybody needs a little Horace in the pocket. You know.
I do think that I think that Dickie is going to end the therapy session by giving Joe the rest of the cigarettes. Being like, don't smoke them all in one place.
Well, it's a good thing I'm smoking one here, and we're about to go to a new place. So
We can't smoke on the ring.
why can't we smoke on the ring? What the fuck you mean we can't
It's
smoke
just
on the ring?
cycled air.
Oh my god! Grow one! It's fine! I lived in a Taka station! Grow is fine!
Okay, whatever you say. But if the station people tell you to put out your cigarette, I'm
blow
not.
smoke all over Dickie's. Get out of my engineering room.
Okay, I'm taking down the sign too.
Thank you.
Rip.
Okay. And I think as you are doing that, as you are finishing up that conversation, you feel the Tenebris sort of shudder around you all, rattle, and you hear this sort of muted groan of metal that lets you know that the ship has docked successfully, or else it would be a much louder groan of metal. And as you are leaving the engine room, I think, Dickie, for you, it is like it's kind of like when you step out of a steamy bathroom into like your air conditioned house, like your glasses fog up immediately. I don't think realized how I think it's easy to forget how hot that engine room gets when you're just passing
dripping,
through.
dripping.
Yeah. But you, I think, would hear, probably all of you, hear the comm system chime as an automated voice, a woman's voice, but clearly not a real human person's voice, speak throughout the ship on all of your available working comm units, which I think means that some corners of the ship, it probably sounds like distorted. Maybe like a New York City subway driver in some spots. Some other spots pretty clear. Your mileage may vary. Sometimes it's a little too fast. Sometimes it's a little slowed down. Not all of the intercom systems on the Tenebris are as functional as the others, but it does say, "Welcome to Gate 315C. If your ship will require repairs, please let the administrator know as soon as possible so that we can negotiate a price. If your ship will require fuel, do the same. Supplies are your own responsibility." A reminder that there is no weaponry allowed on board a ring gate. Anyone caught with an illegal weapon will be subject to prosecution by Tranquility Tribunal.
I think Cassidy was walking off of the ship, and then that message came out. He's like, "Fuck, I always forget." He never wears enough to like actually hide a weapon.
Oh yeah,
so
of course
he's just
not.
gonna no. He's
A
just gonna
duster
take
would
it.
just cover up all this.
Exactly, and we can't have that. So I know what I'm here for, and it's not to be modest. Okay, so I'll put my gun back.
And oh, okay, cool. Yeah. The voice continues, which I think some of you would probably know is a little bit odd, because that's normally the end of the pre-recorded message. But it says, Addendum. If you have traveled to this ring gate from one of the mining colonies of Jupiter, please see your nearest health kiosk for vaccination.
Hey, boss, I didn't think they said the vaccine was out yet.
Yeah, that is not what Dickie said. Dickie?
Yes, Captain. Do you want me to look into it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Gives me a bad feeling. Be careful.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Can you just get me 2 slices of cheese? And the fangs.
Obviously the fangs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need the fangs.
Sure, the fangs will happen. Do you want one of the shirts?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you. I'll meet you at the
welcome.
Taco Tower.
I mean, you might catch us at the Burger Barn.
Okay. All right. We'll have our comms. I'll check in. We'll play it by ear. It'll be fine.
Okay. Great. All right. Horace. I mean, Nevin. No, I'm going to call you Horace. I like that. Horace. We should go out and celebrate the fact that you're not dead.
I can't say that I'm much in the mood to celebrate, Captain.
Yeah, that's why it's the most important that you do so.
I'm afraid I don't understand, but
Okay. Listen, when you are at the lowest, when you think that, oh, everything is fucking awful, that's the time when you say, fuck it. We ball. You have a good goddamn time in spite of what's going on.
as you say, I'm sure.
Good, you're already learning. It's gonna put an arm around him. We're gonna have a great time. Have you done a food crawl?
I don't think so. Unless I didn't know that I was doing it.
Okay, so this is where you go from place to place, specifically restaurant to restaurant, and you get food and drink, small portions of each, so you're not, a complete ball that needs to be rolled around the rest of the ring gate until the very end, and then you just kind of get wheeled away back to your ship.
Sorry, the Foundation, all of our meals were designed specifically to
carefully
Yeah.
crafted for optimal nutrition. And yes, I know.
I missed them.
My let's see, hold on. It was my third year dissertation of how the foods they'd chosen were not optimal. I was correct. They did not like my presentation.
That must not have made it into the curriculum.
Oh no. Well, there were subtle changes in the diet after that they liked to say they came up with on their own. But you can cite, I have that letter. I have that presentation.
Yes, that was when they removed the seasoning.
Yeah. Because they weren't using the real seasonings. They were using substitutes. Yeah. Anyway, it was wild. Listen, Dickie, trust me, it was a choice that they were making.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they were using, it was all flavor packets.
They used to say that flavor was a distraction.
Well, it is.
Dickie.
Okay, look, you brought me around, but
And
flavor.
that's why Dickie gets cheese pizza.
But flavor is distracting. You have to admit.
Okay, distracting from what? It's
Studies?
food. It's
Science.
food, Dickie. It's food.
It's fuel.
For science.
Exactly. Horace understands.
It's both.
I
And
need a drink.
Padlock's running through the halls, just screaming pork buns the whole way through. And passes you guys as you're talking about seasoning, and I'm heading towards the door, just chanting pork buns as I go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But listen, do not stay at the dim sum diner, Padlock. It's crawl. We're going everywhere.
Can't make any promises. Yes.
Love
Pork buns.
Well, we will know where they are. So there's that.
Okay. So you have to refuel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you sending that alert to the gate administration?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Like, all right. As I'm walking off of the ship, like I've already
100%. Fantastic. Yeah, you are able to set that up and start that process. You will have to gather your own supplies, like it indicated. Sure. But yeah, you can absolutely just start heading to the food court.
Okay.
Dickie, though, you were going straight to the nearest health kiosk per the instructions.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And that's not hard to locate because even though ships can pretty much dock at any point of the ring gate, it is, per its name, a ring. There is a health kiosk, probably roughly every quadrant or so. And it doesn't take you long to locate it. It is an auto dock unit, so it's basically just like a booth that you step into and it scans you and does the things that you need it to do, at least in theory. But it is not a real person, so.
Of course not. It's a travesty.
Are you stepping in?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you step into it. The door slides closed behind you. You find yourself in a small room. Basically, you're just sort of surrounded by four walls that are covered in a series of panels and like small boxes and scanners and screens and things like that. None of them have really kicked on yet, so you're just kind of under a black light at the moment. That's really your only source of illumination. And the little automated voice speaks again and says, state the nature of your medical need.
Checkup.
And the autodoc unit will begin scanning you. strange sensation, but you're very used to it, I think, being out here. And eventually it stops, completes its work. There's a little ding. It says, "Scan complete. You are in perfect health."
Good. Mask vaccine.
The voice is quiet for a second. And then you hear a little whine of feedback as a decidedly AI voice says, okay, have you recently been in contact with someone who had spent significant amounts of time on one of the mining colonies of Jupiter?
Yes.
I think one of the little screens in front of you kicks on, and you see a very bored and tired-looking man in a lab coat seated on the other end of it, looking back at you. He's got like a pretty severe 5 o'clock shadow, deep bags under his eyes. You can see like smoke curling up out of the corner of the screen from like a cigar or a cigarette. You're not really sure. And says, "It's funny, your checkup came back, said you're fine."
It is, but I have been in contact with several mining vessels, and Mother always said it's best to be safe. So, vaccine, please.
Okay.
I'll pay.
Well, no need for that. He's like looking a little distracted. He starts typing on a console that you can't really see right off screen, and says, "No need for that. It's covered." But that would definitely catch your attention first and foremost, Dickie, because that's not a thing.
I haven't heard of anything that's covered since I left Tranquility. I will keep that to myself.
Sure.
Though I won't say anything.
Absolutely. I think you are gonna need to talk fast in this particular case.
All right. Is that face?
That is face.
All right. That is an 11.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
One face.
One face. Fantastic. They buy it. Cool. Yeah, buys it. Okay, cool. So he finishes typing and he looks back at you and says, "Okay, you seem like a smart kid. You don't need this vaccine."
What do you mean?
You're not showing any symptoms. You're not showing any signs of infection. It's a voluntary vaccine. You don't need it.
Oh, but the comm system said that if I had been in contact, I should come and get the vaccine.
Yes. Out of an abundance of caution. But I'm telling you, you don't need it. Do you understand?
No.
He sighs to himself. Look, I can push this button and I can tell it to give you the vaccine. In my medical opinion, my employed medical opinion, that would be the safest course of action for you to take. Outside of that, I would probably say that an experimental vaccine is rarely the most stable. especially if hypothetically, like some vaccines, not this one, of course, but some of them, it hasn't been through proper clinical trials.
Wait, this hasn't been through proper clinical trials? And you're
I didn't say
distributing
that.
it?
I did not say that, young man.
This is... Okay, I suppose I take your meaning and your point. Thank you for your medical opinion. Is there a way on my comm universal whatever
Mhm.
I
Your
can
Transcom?
Yeah, I can figure out where this is being broadcast from?
Probably not with your Transcom, certainly. That's basically a Bluetooth headset. But
Okay.
if you wanted to try to use your handheld, you could maybe try to do that, but it is probably outside of your technical expertise. You'd probably have to hack the auto dock unit.
All right. I need to find Padlock. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your help, Doctor.
Of course. And stay safe out there.
Always. And Dickie will step out of the Transcom, not the Transcom, the auto dock, and will head over, or try and make his way over to the food court.
Yeah, absolutely. The food court is much like the rest of this ring gate, which in spirit is very similar to the buckle, but in practice is a lot more symmetrical. The floor is a lot more even. The walls are a lot more seamless. The lights all work. Everything, in fact, seems to be completely functional. And you do pass a few people, but they all seem to be very respectable types. Nobody's carrying any open weaponry. Nobody seems to have any hostility towards each other. People smile at you as they pass you in the corridors. They wave in a few cases. Some people, I think, probably regard the four of you with some suspicion, just because you do look a little bit more out of place here. But yeah, with Nevin, but he's not one that's going to draw attention from people, at least not suspicion. He does kind of look like he belongs here.
Gotcha.
And the rest of you, though, you can make your way to the food court, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It is a circular offset room from the rest of the corridors that you can basically traverse the entire circumference of the ring gate with. As you are walking, I think you do see various signs. Some of them are advertisements. Some of them are warnings. There are a few notices to provide warnings and telling you to proceed with caution at various intervals of the rail network. If a particularly large object has drifted into the path of the network, you probably pass another bounty board, which does also contain a unit to collect a bounty, to collect a payout.
Is it anything of note?
The bounty board? Well, you would have to. There are a lot of bounties.
Okay.
Yeah, like a lot to choose from. Some of them, all of them have varying values, of course. But
sure.
Yeah. That probably makes Nevin look a little nervous, considering that there is a bounty on his head. And I think you probably pass another advertisement for the Scrappers Union. These are very common. The Scrappers Union, always looking to recruit people, especially if they have their own ships. The advertisement is kind of just inviting you to see the system, make money while you're doing it, live free. That's a big part of their advertising. You don't report to any corporate entity. They are a union, quite literally. Yeah, and the food court is a circular offset room that is surrounded by these sort of shallow alcoves that you can walk into where the food is automatically prepared for you. You see a variety of brands, of chains, including the aforementioned ones, of course. And you absolutely can get alcohol here. Although
absolutely.
it's probably all through the Zone kiosk.
The Zone.
Zone Cola.
The Zone Beverage Co. produces a variety of drinks, both alcoholic, carbonated, and everything in between.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things. We are doing the food crawl. Definitely want to do that. Now that we're, situated somewhere where like active messaging can happen, I do want to take care of a few things while we're working before I get too sloshed.
Always wise. Figure that out.
Yeah,
before.
I thought so. All right. So I also have contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping to get something set up so that we would have an in should we need to get to or go on to Tranquility. And by should we, I mean when we need to touch ground on Tranquility, or have a way for us to get like a shuttle down so that the ship never actually goes in, like never hits Atmo.
I think that is extremely fair. So yeah, absolutely. You can cash in on your contact. If you want to do that, then you're going to roll with Brain.
Okie smokies. Brain. What we get? It's not Brain. Yeah. We're going to roll a 10.
Gonna roll a 10. All right. So, yeah, there will be somebody. They're friendly and will gladly help for a good price. So, which of your contacts are you looking into? It does not have to be exactly what is outlined in your character sheet, but
gotcha.
Those are just kind of a jumping off point if you want to use those.
Sure. I think I'm gonna say I think that in my time after we ran off with the ship, this is probably not the first time Cassidy has been back. Just because there are things on Tranquility, there's information on Tranquility that you really can't get anywhere else. So I think he's got a contact that has been there and has set up there.
Okay. Like someone who is part of Tranquility Society, or someone who has infiltrated Tranquility Society, or what are you thinking?
I think someone who is a part of Tranquility Society but grew bored of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Someone who is they're rebelling by, having contacts outside of their utopia.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, Q, this kind of sounds like an X.
Oh, well, obviously.
Obviously. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm into that. Let's say this could be your ex. Let's say this could be your ex, Alexi.
Okay.
And I think Alexi is probably like what Dickie would have become if you hadn't pulled him off of Tranquility.
Yeah.
Just an absolutely, like, not a bad person, but just completely privileged and oblivious of anything outside of Tranquility's borders. Interested,
absolutely.
like very much a like would post a blacked out square to Instagram, but wouldn't go to a march.
I did my part. I did my part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can reach out to Alexi, absolutely.
Gotcha. So yeah, on the way, just Alexi, when you have a moment.
Are you planning to send this as a recording? Because you can while you're on a ring gate just call someone.
Go. Sure, then I'll just call.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
just call.
Yeah.
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, Alexi will absolutely pick up, and I think he is he's flamboyant, but in a very different way than I almost said than Q is, than Cassidy is.
I mean, you're also not wrong.
Yeah, no. He's flamboyant by like tranquility standards. So like his hair he has blonde hair and it's long, like it's very long, and that is pretty unusual. Just because it's seen as like frivolous and kind of vain, and he doesn't let that stop him. I think he probably has like a pierced ear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's
which is also
a wild one.
He absolutely is. He's a bit of a troublemaker in Tranquility Society. And he says, Cassidy, so good to hear from you. It is Cassidy these days, isn't it?
It is Cassidy. You know that.
I do. I like it. I am a fan.
Good. So, I'm going to be in the neighborhood pretty soon.
Are you? It has been some time since you have been in the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, I'm only there when I need to be. When I have to be.
No, yes, I understand. This is a subterfuge.
Yes, and the part, one of the big parts of subterfuge is not calling it subterfuge.
Oh, yes, no, of course.
You are doing much better, though. You caught onto it.
This is a normal visit.
Exactly. I would love to come see you.
I would like that as well.
Wonderful.
When will you be in the neighborhood?
About how long from here to Tranquility?
Kind of depends if you go straight there or not. If you ride the rail network and you don't make any other stops and you don't have to refuel, could be as little as a week.
Okay. With smooth sailing, a week or so.
That is very soon.
It is. It was a last minute trip.
Are you... He looks like he's struggling to think of a way to talk to you without like being obvious. Will you be in town for the rededication?
Well, now that you mention it, probably wouldn't want to miss that, huh?
I am told that it will be the party of the year.
Interesting. Okay.
I've heard a lot of plans for the grandeur that will be on display at the foundation.
Lots going on there.
Well, it's not every day that the Yelchin Foundation, one of the most prestigious educational institutions and academic settings in the entire system, is rededicated, honoring its founder.
Was it interesting? So rededicating, just saying, hey, Yelchin is still our guy, or is it being renamed?
Well, I suppose they haven't said, but of course it would be for Alexander Yelchin. What else could it be?
Head coach?
The headmaster. He is a respected man, but he cannot hope to measure up to the scientific accomplishments and accolades. And
This isn't hope. This is, you know what? We'll see when it happens.
Yelchin is beloved on Tranquility, as you well know.
Of course.
It would be insanity to take his name off of his largest legacy.
It would, in fact, be insanity.
He looks a little troubled. He looks a little genuinely troubled at these thoughts that you're putting in his head.
I mean, I'm sure that the rumor mill is already tittering away. Let's see what they have to say about that question.
Cassidy, please. I am the rumor mill.
Yeah, and I know you have a circle. So?
I suppose I could check for you.
You are the best.
I know.
So, I'll be there in a week. Think you could house a few wayward souls?
I'm sure that one of the vacation homes will be available.
Wonderful. Okay. I'll let you know when I'm here. You can fly up to meet us. Show you...
Yes, that would be the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Also, I can give you the Star Runner special.
Cassidy.
I mean...
Wow.
I'm just saying, it is a different experience in space.
Well, that I look forward to.
Good.
1 week.
1 week.
I'll see you then.
All right. Okay, and then we're just gonna end the call, and it's time to be wingman for my girl. And also food crawl. Okay, so Luna, I did promise you that we could absolutely make this happen. I want you to look around at the pool, at the target-rich environment that we have. Do you think this is a sufficient level for what you need? Or are you going to break them? I'm fine with it either way. It'll be great either way.
I mean, look, it's been how many years at this point? I feel like
too many is what you said. Too many.
Too many, if we even put it in a quantifiable number, is a number that when you are too drunk, you cannot count to. And that's what we're looking at right now. So
Fair.
Really, just like, we should be keeping basement bunker level expectations here all around is what I'm feeling in my heart of hearts.
Okay. Will, are there any peacekeepers on here?
There wouldn't be peacekeepers on this ring gate specifically. There would be some security, but they are not peacekeepers.
Perfect. Then that means they're going to be grittier than peacekeepers. Great.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Really, one of the two extremes. somebody completely like inept who just kind of signed on for lack of anything else going on, or somebody grittier.
Okay, great, cool. Then we will find someone.
Yes. Just like a pretty someone that I can, like, if I can find like a pretty someone and I can stop at Pierogi Palace while we're here, those are the two big goals in my brain.
Absolutely. Pierogi Palace is supreme.
It is. And it's right between Burger Barn and Dim Sum Diner. So I know we've got to pass it because we have to get to Padlock.
It's true. It's true. Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, then let's we'll scope out our target. Because you know they come here when they're off ship.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah. We'll hang out by zone.
Rich environment.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Knock them down.
Mhm.
Fantastic. So you're grabbing food. All of you are grabbing food. Is there anything else y'all are trying to do?
Yes, I want Padlock to hack this medical kiosk.
Right. You do want Padlock. So, Dickie, I think if you are a man on a mission, then you are going to find your way to the food court. And I think you're going to see that your crew is, split up in some regards. Padlock is presumably just eating pork buns. Just as
just
many
going
as
to
possible.
town.
Just
So
going
many
to
pork
town.
buns.
Like you walk up like mid, like full chipmunk cheek, just bun in mouth.
Hey, are the pork buns are good?
I'm just like nodding, and then I'll like push one into your hands. And you just got it. I like swallow hard. Eat.
Oh, there's a lot of flavor there. There's a lot of flavor in that.
Put sauce in it too. Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, how do you feel about hacking a medical kiosk?
Immediately into it.
Yeah, like Padlock just like puts bun down. A medical kiosk, you say?
Yeah, like one of those shitty auto docs that provide treatment to people without actually being people. Putting good doctors out of the job. Well,
Sure, why not?
Oh, great. Do you want some more pork buns to go?
If you're buying.
I think Horace is buying.
I look around, I don't see Horace.
Okay, fine. Dickie will go and buy more pork buns to go.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that.
Also, do they have merch?
Oh,
Does Dim
yeah.
Sum Diner have merch?
They've got merch. Dim Sum Diner has merch.
I would like to get whatever is the most Padlock of merch.
Interesting. I
It's gotta
think
be a stuffy.
No, it's a pork bun hat.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a pork bun hat.
It is, but it's specifically one of those hats that like velcros under your chin. Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm walking around this entire station with that hat on.
Okay. That's as a thank you for what you're about to do, which I'm pretty sure is highly illegal, but we don't need to talk about it.
Go with the collection. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna drag Padlock over to the auto dock.
Okay. All right. So are you going inside of the auto dock? Well, are
Do I
you
have
both
to go inside?
squeezing in there is my main question.
Okay. Well, I'll give Padlock a rundown of what happened
Yeah.
and why, like the vaccine that they told us to get, but then I was weirdly warned away from. And I want to see if Padlock can figure out where that transmission was coming from. And if it means that someone has to be in there, I'll go in again.
So to find out where the transmission is coming from, that you would probably have to be inside for.
Okay.
You could hack the auto dock unit itself to like probably tell it what to do, control it from the outside. But if you want to like access where the person is calling in from, you'd probably have to be inside for that.
Okay. I'll go in if you can trace it from out here.
Okay, sure. I'll like start going to the nearest like panel.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out Dickie's surgical laser cutter that I got a while back, and that's what I'm using to cut open.
Sure. And the auto dock unit is going to start to activate like automatically as you walk in. Like you're going to hear that little voice that says, state the nature of your medical need.
I'm going to ask if Padlock has a marker on him.
Yeah, I think I'll like go down into my boot and I'll pull out a marker.
Okay, he's just giving himself a fake mustache. Just a quick disguise.
Incredible.
Nice. You would look great in a mustache.
Oh, think so?
Yeah, just as curly as the one you just,
I will consider
maybe
that.
Maybe a little patch right here.
Just gonna file that away in my brain. All right. I wonder if Becca would like mustaches. Have you talked to... No, now is not the time. Okay. Mask vaccine.
And I think, again, you hear the little whine of the microphone kicking on, and then the screen kicks on, and it is, in fact, the same very tired-looking man standing on the other side, who says, why are you back?
This is my first time in an auto dock. He says, affecting what he thinks is a Jupiter Miners accent.
Clearly just drew a mustache on your face. Marker.
How dare you, sir? I am in need of the vaccine. I was told to come here.
Look, if you want it that badly, I'll let you get it. I was trying to help you, but...
Well, what's in this vaccine?
This vaccine is a proprietary formula. I'm not at liberty to disclose the ingredients contained therein.
All right, but like, what's in it? I'm just playing for as much time as I can so that Padlock.
Yeah, that's fair. So Padlock, you are working presumably while this is happening.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Cool. Then I think in this case, I mean, you are not necessarily a hacker.
Nope.
But I think in this case, we might be able to call it make a patch.
Okay.
So roll with junk.
Ooh. I got junk.
You got junk.
Oh no. Sorry, one dice fell off my table. That is a 13.
All right. Fantastic. So in this particular case, I think you are able to, like, while Dickie is clearly starting to sweat and just having this back and forth with this poor, tired doctor, you manage to, like, cut the feed first and foremost. Mm-hmm. And then you are able to sort of, like, patch your way into that particular subsystem of the auto dock unit, that sort of remote
I take some foil that came from the buns, the burr buns, and I'll pull like a bauble or a pin out of my like cap or something like that, and then when I pop it off, that's what I like wrap in there, and then like I'll probably get a little zapped in the process of doing that, but I'll be like, and then good.
Yeah, what I think I'm going to say in this case, you got a 13, so you are going to succeed at this particular task, but like the auto dock unit, Padlock's particular way of hacking, quote unquote, this auto dock unit is not going to be usable afterwards. Like,
I count
That's
that as a win.
How I roll.
yeah. So you managed to cut that feed, and the auto dock unit is like freaking out for like a second, and it's the black light that's beating down on you turns red, and it just starts saying, "Warning, warning, tampering detected." But if there's one thing you have experience doing, Padlock, it's disconnecting the security system of an autonomous unit.
I find it.
Yeah. Immediately. So you shut that down real quick. You don't know if it like managed to alert anyone on the station, but you got to it very quickly. And yeah, you just kind of like start taking various panels and things apart until you find the right connection that you can hook up to your handheld. And from there, it is a pretty quick like solve to trace that call back to its place of origin, which I think you would discover is on Earth. Yeah, I'm gonna say you could trace it back to, say, Boston.
I think with the doors maybe slightly freaking out, Dickie will stick his head out and be like, Padlock, did you get it?
Yeah, it says that it's coming from Earth. You know where Boston is?
Europe?
You guys good mind?
I will say in the sub records, you can find that like this particular doctor is very much for hire. So like I think you find that they're on record within this subsystem as a contractor working and employed on behalf of Colburn Natural Resources.
Yeah, he's a scripty for Cobalt.
They usually do pharmaceuticals? That's not their thing.
No, it's not.
Okay. One last thing. Can you pop open something in here and get the vaccine out? Like, is that a thing that we could do? Because he was threatening to give me a vaccine.
Sure.
He was threatening you so hard. This was all self-defense.
All of it. Every single bit of it.
Sure, but is this something like I'll just like walk in there and squeeze myself against like Dickie and just like
Yeah.
go over them and start dismantling stuff?
Yeah, you retrieving a sample of this is just like reaching up and like ripping open a panel over Tiki's head and just like grabbing a vial.
Just like cutting a hole in something.
Yep.
Cassidy knows we're doing this, right?
Yeah. He
Told me something like hard as fuck.
He told me to look into this, so yeah.
Well, if Cassidy said it was okay for us to be doing this stuff, that's fine. I'm not gonna be able to put that panel back together.
I think that's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Just imagine that this is my office and the damage you're doing is irreparable. It's fine.
I start yanking even like aggressively harder. Like
okay, good. Yeah, just take all of that energy and put it here and not my actual office. Good. Okay.
I think you find the doses. Each one is like kind of loaded, almost like a shotgun shell onto a robotic arm that is designed to administer them via syringe. So you kind of like yank that arm down, and it's just got like almost like a bandolier of vials running up the side of it, and you can pull one of those. You can pull all of them. It's up to you.
how many do you need?
We should probably take all of them just to be safe.
Okay, I'll yank the bandolier of it.
You rip out this this belt of small vials that have some kind of blue liquid in them.
Great.
All right. It glows.
That's probably fine. I think.
I mean, from my medical opinion, anything that glows is beneficial.
Yeah.
I'll take that under advisement. Okay. Should we go get drunk now?
Sure. Yeah. Are you buying?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna hand the bandolier of medicine over to Dickie, but I will hand over the scrap, the surgical tool. It doesn't work anymore. Here you go.
Oh. Can you fix it?
No, that's why I'm giving it back.
Oh. Okay.
No,
well,
I can't fix any of this.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Padlock. Okay.
Of course.
Plastic fangs. Let's go.
All right. You can rejoin your crew mid-food crawl, where I imagine Nevin is not experienced at holding alcohol well, so he's probably already a little bit drunk. But yeah, you can rejoin the rest of the crew.
Oh man.
Oh, he's a weepy drunk too. I got bad news, Cassidy.
No.
No.
This is
That
so
is just
upsetting.
unfortunate.
That is so upsetting.
Unfortunate, everybody.
Is he weeping when we come back?
Bro, he's like on the verge of it. Like you watch it happen in real time, I think, as he's just like, I mean, everything that I knew about life and the universe and my place in it and my purpose, what I was meant to do with my life was gone. It's just gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have the worst news for you. It does not get better from here. But you know what does make everything
That's
feel better?
terrible.
It's nachos. So just you take these and then you stuff them right here. And then after about like 8 fistfuls, you're going to feel a lot better. Just make sure that you get some of the jalapenos, put them right on top. That's what really like seals the deal. You honestly, with the jalapenos, you might even feel better in 6 handfuls.
I don't
wait, hold on.
think you understand, Muna,
Okay, so
that there is a hole inside of me that nachos cannot fill.
Oh,
Have
I
you
promise
eaten
you,
nachos?
I came to Tranquility with that hole, and I promise you, after enough bouts of nachos, it does get fixed. It might not be one thing of nachos. I don't know how big the hole in your heart is. Mine was super big, and it took nachos and Pierogi Palace and Burger Barn, but I do assure you that you get there.
It's
The
incalculable.
crowns that you can get from Pierogi Palace also help. The paper ones that you unfold and you wear, those help a lot.
I'm a genius. The hole in my heart is incalculable.
So before we do any more whole talk, can I get your credit card to get supplies? Can I just go ahead and get that credit? Let me get that credit, get off my chair, stop crying on me, and let me get that so I can go. So I'm done. Joe's had enough people time.
Joe is fed up.
Yeah, no, of course you can. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sweetie. But it like fully like rolls past.
Okay. All right. Okay. Nevin, listen. I know it feels like it's a lot, right? Like you are a small speck in the vastness that is this galaxy. But hey, that means that you can just say fuck it and do what you want. Because you're just one part of the whole.
Is that with a W?
With a W. I mean,
I see.
different whole talk. Yeah.
I see.
We're not ready for that one yet. Also, you are already too drunk. So
I'm trying to get him to eat nachos.
and
Trying to get him to soak up some of the
nachos.
alcohol.
no,
I
listen,
just
the
want
magic's
to be
magic's
helped.
gone. Oh God. I'm gonna hug him. we're gonna hug him because clearly
We're gonna hug it out. We're gonna group hug it out.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this one to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had the nachos yet.
He won't take the nachos. Also,
No.
I'm fairly
You
certain
don't want
he
the
eats.
nachos.
Okay. All right. So 1, lower your tone. 2. 2.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna get you back to the ship.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You guys have fun. I'm gonna be right back. Luna. 6 o'clock. Tall. Brown hair. Scar over the left eye.
Cool. And I like in a way that is not smooth at all because she's not done this in years. But it's like she thinks she's being smooth. They will look over their shoulder and try to clock whoever Cass has just pointed out, but they do not do it well or stealthily whatsoever.
Putting out so many fires.
I think that there is, I think that there's you spot the person that Cassidy is pointing out. Cassidy, you take Devin and head off back towards the ship. But Luna, yeah, I do think you see this man. He's not in a uniform, so I think you assume that he is somebody passing through the ring gates. He's on the taller side, does appear to be pretty physically fit, dressed pretty unobtrusively, honestly. All of his clothes, though, appear to be very neat. I think maybe, unless you have a more specific move, which you might as the runner, I think maybe I want you to roll with gut or get a read.
Yeah, I think we'll just do that. I think my other, the moves that I've taken so far really are only good for when I need something very specific, not really for people, but for objects.
Yeah.
So let's try gut.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 9.
Cool. You hold 1.
Okay.
So you could ask one of these questions. What's hidden, obscured, or unclear? How can I exploit a weakness, vulnerability, or opportunity? What's the largest uncounted threat, variable, or danger? What's the best way I could blank?
Whatever that second one was, my brain held on to it for a second, went, that's what you would pick as a criminal, and then it went away. But the
How can I
second one
exploit
felt
a weakness,
right.
vulnerability, or opportunity?
There it is.
Okay. All right. I
think Luna has no idea how to approach any of these things because the only real romance they've ever had in their whole life happened because they were approached. So them approaching someone else is like, how do you do that?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll do it the way I mark everyone I've ever stolen from. What is good about you that I can take advantage of to get you to pay attention to me in the way I want you to, not in the way I don't?
Okay, that is very fair. What I will tell you then in that case is that while his clothes are very plain, I think he's just kind of wearing a very sort of functional, dark green, almost like a bomber jacket, over what appears to be a very simple, plain, unmarked, gray shirt, very functional, pants with lots of pockets that are tucked into boots. I think the boots are what tip you off, though, because they are very worn, but also very well cared for. The way that this man's clothing, while it is very plain, is immaculate, coupled with the way his boots are cared for, tells you that he is probably military, or maybe ex-military.
Okay. Is he currently eating, or what is he in the middle of?
I think he's standing in line, and I think you can see that he is with a few other people who kind of have a similar vibe. to him, but they're sort of just chatting with each other. I think what pulls this guy out specifically is that as you glance over, not very subtly, he catches your eye, sees you looking at him, and like gives you a quick like raised eyebrow and a smile, like almost confused, like, do you know me or something like that, but a little flirty.
I'm gonna go join the line that they're in, and
Okay.
in a very awkward fashion, try to make it seem like I was clocking the place that he's standing in line for, not him.
Okay. All right.
Just bad at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time-honored
Years, cute.
the
It's
time-honored
baby.
flirting method of pretending I'm not interested. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
100%.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Yeah. You join that line, but I think like I mean, this probably isn't great because I think it probably convinces Luna that you did exactly the right thing in this situation. But once you join the line, he's going to like drift back, let a few people go ahead of him, separate from his friends until he's like standing right in front of you in the line. And it's going to say, hi there.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do we know each other?
I can't say that we do. I just was trying to figure out, what to eat. My friends are on a food crawl.
It's funny because I could have sworn you were you're staring at me.
Not just the place that you're, in line for. The sign was really big and right above your head. So
Well, you must really love tacos.
yeah, Taco Tower is the best taco place, and pretty much.
Not a lot of choices on a ring
Yeah,
gate, I will say.
fair. Not here anyway. There are other taco places at other ring gates, but like this one's my favorite Taco Tower. So
I'll take your word for it. Well, listen, I don't want to bother you. I just thought you looked a little familiar. That's all.
oh, you're not a bother at all. Promise. We're both going to be in this line for however long, so not like we can't make conversation.
That's true. Of course, if you weren't here for the tacos, we'd be in this line for a lot shorter.
And it's fair. And technically, I am on a food crawl, so I've had food at other places. By the way, it'd probably be good that I got your name at some point.
Sawyer, ma'am.
Sawyer, very nice to meet you. I'm Luna.
Nice to meet you, Luna. Maybe you'd want to continue this conversation somewhere else.
Yeah, that'd be really great, and then we wouldn't have to stand in line for tacos. Although, do you need to get... You're in line for tacos. Have you eaten yet? Because I have food. Like I said, we're on a food crawl. This is like my 6th place that I've gotten food from. So I can do without tacos, but it seems like the polite thing to do to ask if you need to get...
No, I'm not particularly hungry. I was actually just staring at you because I thought you were hauntingly beautiful.
There you go. Wait a minute.
Thank you. That's very, very sweet. You said that you thought I looked familiar. Do you know where from? And as I'm saying this, I am leaving the line. Like,
Yeah,
I couldn't care
100%.
less
Yeah,
about being in this line anymore.
Yeah, the rest of you would probably see Luna leaving with this well-built, handsome gentleman. Honestly, that was just an excuse.
I'll take it.
I think I would have remembered meeting somebody like you if I ever had before.
Well, thanks. I feel like I would know you too. I noticed like you keep impeccable work of your clothes and things like that, and you don't see that around the belt all the time when you travel as much as I do. So
that is fair. That is I suppose that is kind of a dead giveaway, isn't it? Just on my way out with some colleagues of mine for a job, security detail.
Security where?
I mean, do you really care? Or is that just small talk? Because I'd rather not talk about work.
Well, then it's just small talk, and we don't have to talk about work.
It's just as well. I won't ask what line of work you're in.
Perfect. Probably bore you to death anyway.
Well, I don't know about that, but I guess we could probably think of something else to talk about. My ship's docked right here, and my bunk's inside that. So,
Yeah, perfect.
all right. And the door will slide open. You can step into Sawyer's ship, which kind of matches the vibe of the people that are currently crewing it. It looks not lived in. Like, it looks like a factory model, or like a floor model, rather. Like, everything is just standard and clean, and there's no sign of any like personal touches whatsoever. But yeah, he will lead you back to one of the bunks, and I think once he gets you inside, he is gonna kind of like put one hand up against the wall and kind of like press in towards you, but not like on top of you or anything like that, and just kind of like put his face a little close to yours and say, or maybe we just don't have to talk at all.
Yeah, honestly, think I'd prefer it that way.
Right? And sounds like it might be a fade to black.
Yeah, I think that's a good fade to black there for Luna to have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You had me worried there for a
I
second.
was fully convinced, like, kill that guy. If he's weird, kill the guy.
If he's weird, just kill him
either,
and leave the ship. Who cares?
it's either going to be hot or Cassidy's going to be very upset.
I mean, you you fumbled the ball and he picked it up and he ran with it.
Thank goodness, because Luna does not know what they're doing at all.
It's like, or we could not stand in line. And you're like, but have you eaten yet? Have you had the food?
It's like, what?
You gotta try these tacos.
How far would Luna go in like the really bad, awful campfire direction? As far as we can, actually, because the only relationship Luna's ever had in life was not built on romantic language or anything like that.
I just can't believe Dickie has the second most riz of the crew. That's what kind of kills me.
I do think this is the very first moment anyone would ever realize that Luna has no flirt game whatsoever.
Zero game.
None.
Zero
Not a
game.
one.
Ben,
Nothing.
You weren't
Literally
expecting
nothing.
game from Dr. Wizard Courtney?
Was
Right
it?
there
I
in his
wasn't.
name.
And that's why Luna makes fun of him so bad for his poetry, because she does not understand that could get Dickie anything. And they're over here like, but do you need to eat? Are you good?
But
though?
Jeet.
I love that you were like, okay, cool, we're going to go. And then we're like, wait, let me stop all this progress we were making. Have you eaten?
How awkward could I make Luna in this moment? I was like, how far can I go?
You got
Oh,
there. You
yeah.
did that. You
Got
did great. You did fantastic.
You did it. I think when we come back, you're in his bunk, in Sawyer's bunk. There are blankets tangled up all around you, but covering everything that needs to be covered. And just sort of lying there. It's had a good time. He says, well, that was better than tacos.
Yeah, a lot better than tacos. Totally better than tacos.
How long are you and your crew in port?
Oh, not long. Long enough to fuel up, grab supplies, that sort of thing, and then we're back out of here.
Same here, so I guess we'll be parting ways.
Yeah. But if you ever see me at another ring or anything like that, just feel free to shout.
Yeah, I will.
Get them digits. Get them digits.
Yeah, I'll give him like whatever way
Okay.
to contact me over the link. Just
All right.
know.
Yeah, all right, that works. And he'll say, by the way, I wouldn't be a gentleman if I didn't walk you back to your ship. So I'm just gonna get dressed. If you want water or anything from the galley, help yourself.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'll grab water and just you can meet me in there when you're done, and I'll get dressed really quick. And
Cool.
Luna's outfit is very simple, black, just lots of cutouts.
Absolutely. Yeah, you walk out into the rest of the ship. Like I said, it's completely impersonal, sterile almost, but sure enough, it seems to be well stocked. You can absolutely just like pull a glass of water. And then I think Sawyer walks out of the room behind you as you're standing there. And I think as soon as he does, Luna can kind of feel the shift in the energy of the room. And from behind you, he says, that was your crew that you were sitting with, I assume.
Yep, those are the ones.
Security bulletin came through while we were occupied.
As he says that, because I'm still facing away from him, I go and I pull a knife out from my top and I just hold it in front of me. Oh, did it? What came through? Don't think there could be anything that has to do with my people.
So you wouldn't know anything about the security footage of them ripping apart the autodock unit?
Nope, don't know a thing actually.
Luna, you're going to want to put that knife away.
How does this man even know I have a knife in front of me?
It's a great question.
I'm afraid before I put anything down, I'm going to have to ask you how you know that. Lady doesn't exactly go somewhere out on her own with a stranger without having something with her, you know?
Not going to lie to you. I am an extremely dangerous man, but that doesn't have to come up. If this is a misunderstanding like you say it is, then we can sort this out, but if you pull a weapon, it's out of my hands.
I have every reason to believe that this is a misunderstanding, but let me be very clear. You think you're dangerous? You haven't even seen the worst this galaxy has to offer until you've met me. So you can walk me back to my ship, and we can figure this out. We can have our talk about our misunderstanding.
He is going to take a couple steps towards you. And he's going to grab you by the arm that's holding the knife. And he's going to try to turn you around and, in the process, twist it out of your hand. But you can try to not let that happen if you want.
Oh, absolutely not. This man's not going to disarm me. I mean, I do
Okay.
have the word infinite beside knives in my thing. If
You
you take
do.
this one, I have thousands more, but
You do. In this case, infinite is more as many as you need than it is
Yes.
thousands. But
I mean,
I
look,
think at that point you are going to be getting in a fight.
Yeah.
So you're going to roll with spine, I believe.
oh, that was pretty. What do I add to spine? I don't think it's good, but it's a 1, so it's an 11.
Let's go.
Okay, it's an 11.
go,
So
Captain.
you inflict harm on him.
Good.
What does that look like? Where, I assume it's with the knife. Where are you
Yeah,
stabbing him?
I think as he tries to twist my arm, I will pull out of that grip and stab instinctively to whatever level that's at. And I was holding it at about my stomach, so
Yeah.
he's taller than me. So
Yep.
I would say it's in like the lower part of his stomach, like into his like hip, maybe.
I would
Somewhere in
agree.
there.
I would agree. You stab him, but his grip on your arm is impossibly strong. He does not let go of you. You look back, and he's looking down at the knife, and he reaches one hand up to it and pulls it out and doesn't bleed. When he looks up at you, his eyes are bright red.
Oh, fuck.
And he says, in a different voice than the one that he had been using up to this point, Luna Larson, your membership in the Earth Coalition Party is being audited.
Shit.
And that is where we're going to end this episode.
Yeah.
No, what the fuck do you mean?
What
Yo.
the fuck do you mean?
No.
We got a lot of shit we gotta do.
It's true. Things are happening.
No.
Things are
Why are
Does that
things
mean I have to,
happening,
like,
Will?
go
Why are
back
things
to-
happening?
What does that even? What does that entail? That I'm being audited for my Earth card, essentially. Like,
So above the table, the Earth Coalition Party, the sort of shadowy cabal that runs shit on Earth, employ what are called auditors, which is a fancy way of saying that the Earth Coalition Party has decided to black bag you.
Great.
cool.
Yep.
Good.
Your
Love that for
membership,
me.
your membership being audited, your membership being revoked is basically
Yeah.
just code for they're going to send cybernetic assassins to kill you.
Yeah, figured as much.
Getting
no.
burned.
I got to sleep with my assassin first, though. That's cool.
You did. You did.
Thanks
He
for
wasn't.
that.
He wasn't gonna kill you. Wasn't his plan. He was gonna be a perfect gentleman about it. Well, you know, who knows?
Perfect
but anyway,
gentleman about making sure my Earth card was revoked, and then be like,
so I guess Luna wouldn't know for sure, and might not for a little while. But the thing that got you to be quote unquote audited might just be that you stabbed him.
oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Not my fault. It seemed like he said I'm a dangerous man, and I, like any other femme on any planet in any galaxy, was like, you know what? I don't like your tone.
That is a fair
Weapon.
reaction.
You stab.
I-
That
no
is
one's
correct.
no
It
one's on
was.
Sawyer's side here, just to be clear. I'm certainly
Absolutely
not.
true.
I'm just picturing Joe in a wheelchair going back and forth to the ship, minding her own business. Nothing wrong with Joe.
Well, we did it. We
Good job.
did it. Good job,
Did it.
everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much to everybody who donated, who watched. Thank you to the lovely cast. And yeah, we will be back in 2 Tuesdays, I believe, unless something
Tuesdays.
changes between now and then. But we're going to do introductions. We'll go around and everybody can say a little bit about what they have going on, where you can find them, etc., etc., and then we will find someone to raid. So Alex, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. Hey, I'm Alex. I've been Dr. Richard Courtney.
My boy.
What do I want to say? I don't do much these days. It's a lot of writing. Check out Backwards Tabletop, which is a game gothic horror universe that I write for. We've got 4 books out. The last 2 were kickstarted last year successfully, so those will be coming out sometime this year. I don't have a timeline. Don't twist my arm about it. It'll happen. What else do I want to say? There are plots and schemes behind the scenes. If you like vampires and Vikings, keep an eye out. If you like wizards and schools, keep an eye out. All of this is very far in the future, but that's okay. It's gonna happen. I'm willing it into existence. Otherwise, if no one's told you today, I think you're great. I'm glad you're here. I'm proud of you. And I love you all. That's it.
Hell yeah. Second that. Eli.
Hi. I am Eli. I was playing Padlock, your bun hat wearing junker. I am also the resident ghost of Mayday Roleplay. We're an AP content creation team, making a bunch of fancy and dramatic sad boy stuff all the time. More importantly, it is also AAPI Heritage Month. And during the month of May, Mayday is working on fundraising on their own right to help support the West Maui community of Lahaina. They experienced a devastating fire last year, and they are on the rebuild. They've actually have completed some awesome legislation that will help out this community this month as well. But they definitely still need help getting some funds to rebuild their community and their lives. So if you go over to Mayday Roleplay, you'll find links to our Ko-fi where we're raising money for Maui Rapid Response, who has a mutual aid that is directly putting money into the hands of families and residents on the rebuild. So please do that. If not, I'm lurking around the Twitter space, both at Mayday Roleplay and at A Ghost of Eli, where I'm making random stuff and writing and doing all sorts of shenanery. So you can follow me there.
Yes. 1 second.
Bless you.
Thank you. Just had to cough. If you scroll down until you see where it says Tenebris characters under our cast list down on the Twitch page, you can find links to all of Eli's stuff and particularly that mutual aid. So check it out. The same goes for everybody that's plugging things tonight. Scroll down, find all of the stuff. Mallory.
Hi, I'm Mallory. I've been Luna tonight, but in the interim, you can find me in other places. So I run Rediscovery RPG. It's a brand new channel and production company. Right now, I have been doing a plan process, which is looking at TTRPG mechanics in video games. But I'm also working on pre-production for 4 different actual plays right now. And some of these faces that are you see now might be there later, maybe, who knows, perhaps. Outside of Rediscovery, you can find me over at Unbalanced Encounters. I'm their external producer for the podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of that jazz, and they're at the in the middle of Arc 4 right now for Rally. You can also see me this Saturday. I'm going to be on Dungeons and Dog Tags in their game that they've got coming up this week. It's going to be like a 11 o'clock noonish start time for Eastern Standard Time. We're working out what time everybody can do it. And outside of that, you can find me at Moxie Blue, MOXXIEBLUE, everywhere the internet has to offer you, because I'm writing a bunch and doing a bunch of pre-production stuff. So shows are happening and they'll be announced there.
Hello. Hope I'm coming out through okay. I'm Q. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I am all over the place. So you can see me pretty much everywhere. Alternating Tuesdays from this one, you can see me over at Entropy Emporium, where I am playing in JD's horror masks game. They call us villains. Thursday not this one, but the one after, is redacted. And then we will be getting eventually back to table 1 of Assassin, Season of Secrets and Shadows, Season 3. Saturday, every other Saturday, I am back with Will for class reunion. And then every Sunday over on RPGs Uncovered, I am playing the Starcrier Conflict, where I'm playing another cowboy. I currently have 3 cowboys, and I did not do that on purpose. It is what it is. Other than that, I am also part of the production team for Tales from the Table Studios. We've got a lot of projects that are incoming, so be on the lookout for that. Other than that, yeah, I like Magic, like The Gathering. I also like Magic. So yeah, that's all.
I thought you meant like sleight of hand for a second, and I know
Yeah,
you like
so
Magic
I
the
also
Gathering.
like
Cool.
that.
Yeah.
And nothing about
listen,
sleeves.
Yeah.
Watching Penn and
Illusions.
Teller fool us is like
I
it's one of my
love
comfort
Fool
shows.
Us.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I love Fool Us so much.
Extremely true. Rose.
Howdy, I am Rose. I have been JoJo, the Greaser. You can find me at Rose from the Grave on Instagram. Otherwise, I am LFTA's resident lurker. But we'll see what other things come down the pipeline later to be announced. In terms of things that I'd like to close on, just continue to keep eyes on Rafah and Free Palestine, follow up with mutual aid in your community, and shout out to organization Also Youth in Sarasota, Florida. Helps make a safe space for queer youth down there who desperately need it in such a harsh state. Besides that, I've been Joe.
Yes, all of the mutual aid. Plug all of it. Hello. Hi. My name is Will, one of the storytellers and the organizers here live from the Apocalypse. Do a bunch of things. A lot of it has already been plugged, so I don't need to talk about that. But what I will say is that this week is pretty quiet for us. I think we really only have something very cool starting up this Sunday. Haven't posted the promo, but I might after this stream. But this Sunday, the 12th, and also on the 19th at around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing Section 8, which is the Next Horizons and Halcyon story, which is the spin-off of our Masks Actual Play podcast, Academy H. It's going to be very fun. This particular one is very Hellboy coded, very Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. We're using the Apocalypse Keys system. The cast is fantastic. You will probably recognize most of these folks. It's kind of a dream table. It's going to be really, really excellent. So 1 p.m., we're only doing 2 recording sessions of this. They will be live on Twitch, 12th and the 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Sunday, we're also not recording Academy H like we normally would be, but that is because I have tickets to go see a ska band, not for any other reason. So it's all good things. Yeah, that's the stuff and the things that we have going on. The 17th, Table 1 will be back for a season of Secrets and Shadows. So you can catch us then doing that. You can catch Q and I doing that. That's everything that's going on currently. I have some other stuff that's yet to be announced, particularly something over on Entropy Emporium that I'm very excited about, that I need to finish the promo and stuff for. Actually, let you know a secret. I need to finish the video trailer for, which is very exciting. Anyway, that's it. Yes, that is true. This Thursday, thank you, Julia. This Thursday, the 9th, Never Ember's Enigma, our 5e heist game is not happening, but we are going to be playing Kids on Bikes with a bunch of folks from Never Ember's Enigma, and then myself and our friend Steph will be joining, since 2 people from Never Ember's Enigma cannot join. That's why they're not playing. So Kids on Bikes this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, roughly, depending on when Della can get her children to go to bed. So come back for that Thursday night. Also Julia will be DMing that, which is a rare pleasure, a rare occurrence. So come and
I'm so mad I'm missing
out.
that.
Yeah, I know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. That is it, I think. we are very child bedtime dependent. It is correct. That's the brand. We are going to be disappearing in just a second, and we're going to raid Guild Superior. But before that, there are social links. If you want to follow us and keep up with us and know what we're up to, you can do that in the places and the things, and you can join the Discord community, which is a great place full of great people. And the character art for Nevin Westcott, aka Horus, is up in that in the Nephilim discussion channel if you want to peek that, I guess. But I think that's going to do it for us here tonight. So from all of us here at Nephilim Tenebris, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
everybody.
Right.
Good night.